As the hush came over council chambers. Good evening. Time being 7 o'clock, I call the October 29th, 2025 meeting of the Franklin Town Council to order. Please pause for a moment of silence. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Got stuck in McDonald's.
Okay, next item, announcements from the chair. Upcoming events. The Franklin Cultural District and the Town of Franklin invite community members, artists, schools, businesses, and organizations to take part in our second annual A Wreath of Franklin Community Art Program. This is a community-wide initiative meant to reflect Franklin's shared value of creativity, kindness, and inclusivity. Wreaths are due to the Department of Arts, Culture, and Creative Economy the week of December 5th, 2025. To learn more, please visit franklinculture.org or contact the Department of Arts, Culture, and the Creative Economy. It's a great event, a lot of great wreaths. So please look to participate. I think our town clerk has a few words of wisdom for everyone this evening.
Yes, sir.
Nancy.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and council members. I'm Nancy Dinello, your town clerk, and I'm here to give my last update on the local election that is now just 6 days away. In-person early voting has picked up a little bit. We've been pretty steady this week. We're at a total of 955 votes cast. That total does include in-person early voting, vote by mail, and absentee voting. The breakdown is as follows. Absentee ballots cast, 153. In-person early voters, 658. Vote by mail, 144. In-person early voting will commence tomorrow at 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. And then Friday the 31st, which will be the last day to vote in person, from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. If you can't make it tomorrow or Friday, we will see you Tuesday at the high school, November 4th, between the hours of 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. And I want everybody to just please keep in mind that the town clerk's office will be closed on election day. So if you have any town clerk business, please plan accordingly. Folks, I'm going to say this one more time, and I know you're probably sick of hearing me say it. Local elections are so important. Please get out and vote. I'd also like to address a social media false statement that was reported this past week about a candidate withdrawing from the town council race. That is not true. It did not happen. No one has withdrawn. As a matter of fact, every single candidate has submitted their campaign finance reports. So folks, if you have any questions pertaining to elections or town clerk matters, everyone knows how to reach me. Call me, email me, come see me for the facts. Please don't turn to social media. And then finally, I wish I had a crystal ball. I don't. I have no idea what will happen on election day. What I do know is that 3 of you aren't running for re-election. I want to thank you, Brian, Melanie, Kobe, for all the support that you've given me and my department throughout the 5 years of me being town clerk. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I wish you nothing but success and happiness. To all of the incumbents and the new candidates, thank you for running, and I wish you all the best of luck on Tuesday. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know where to reach me, 508-520-4900. Email me, ndinello@franklinma.gov, or come and see me. My door is always open. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, council members.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Okay, I skipped a little part, but I'll go back. All citizens, my favorite 3 paragraphs that have to get read every time we meet. All citizens are welcome to attend public meetings in person. To view the live meeting remotely, citizens are encouraged to watch the live stream on the Franklin Town Hall TV YouTube channel or the live broadcast on Comcast Channel 9 and Verizon Channel 29. Meetings are also archived by Franklin TV on the Franklin Town Hall TV YouTube channel and shown on repeat on Comcast Channel 9 and Verizon Channel 29 for those who miss the live meeting. To listen to the meeting remotely, citizens may call in using this number, 929-205-6099. This will not permit participation in the meeting. To participate in the meeting remotely, citizens are able to join a Zoom webinar using Zoom webinar ID 857-0683-1418#. Once again, the webinar ID is 857-0683-1418#. Any participants who wish to speak during the webinar must enter their full name and email address when joining the webinar. All participants will be automatically muted upon joining the webinar. In order to speak, participants who have entered full name and email address will need to select the raise hand function to request to be unmuted. All speakers will be required to state their full name and street address before commenting. And I do think there's one other announcement from the chair, School Committee Chair Dave Callahan, just with a quick update, please.
Yes, sir. First, you all missed an amazing chocolate peanut butter cookie at our meeting last week. Chris can verify that it was the best one this term. And speaking of the term, last night was our last school committee meeting of the term, rather bittersweet one, as we said goodbye to Dave McNeil and Aaron Gallagher, who decided not to seek re-election. And while we had an opportunity, we kind of gave them their flowers. Really wanted to kind of stress for everybody else here just the amazing work that the two of them have done, both on obviously in the years on the school committee, but also Erin for co-founding and creating the Children's Museum, and Dave McNeil tireless efforts with the Franklin Education Foundation as well. And so it was a great opportunity to kind of give thanks, and I really appreciate all the work that they've done. And speaking of which, to echo Nancy's comments for Brian, Mel, and Kobe, thank you all very much for all the work that you've done for this community. But we did have a meeting after all that, and where there was two big things. The first one is Superintendent Jagir had presented out the superintendent goals for this year, which is really aligned with the overall district goals, and more specifically about the reorganization that we've now, it's for 2 years, we've been talking about landing the plane. Well, the plane has landed. We're now making sure everybody can kind of, safely and efficiently kind of get off that plane, and then just continue to see it now travel, and as we live and breathe in those new school communities. And so one of the biggest things, for folks who are interested or have questions about the schools and about the direction of the schools and the goals, it's right there on the website. All kind of like every single school and department lists out their specific goals, with last night the superintendent really stressing his. So take a look at that, and you'll see what's going to be happening over the next 180 days, the school year. The other one is that we talked about our October 1 enrollment numbers for the schools. For many folks who have been a part of this, you kind of know where October 1 kind of comes from. This is the enrollment numbers that are reported out to the state. that then it's that domino effect for funding for so many other resources that are out there. So throughout the whole rest of the year, when we talk about like the number of students that we have in the building, it's all going to point to our October 1 numbers. And a few kind of big takeaways from that. The first one is there's a lot of different data that's presented out to the state. One of those is the number of students that have applied for and received the free and reduced meals application. And what we saw was that this application, this number went down by about 7 points. And it's highly unlikely that it's a situation that everyone's kind of income situation has just kind of greatly increased over the past year. I know when I was here last week, I talked about how the Franklin Food Pantry kind of came to us and talked about all the need that they have throughout this community. Far more likely what it is and what we're looking at is the fact that for a number of years now, the state has provided free meals to our students. And because of that, families might not be so inclined to fill out these applications because they think, well, the benefit is already there. And so something we kind of talked about at the meeting, I've stressed before, and I really want to be, I know Glenn and I had a great conversation about this over the weekend as well, but for everybody else in the community to kind of be aware, by filing for the free and reduced meals application, it opens the door for so many other benefits throughout the school system and the supports. It provides free and reduced transportation fees, student activity fees, sports, early childhood development tuition, and many other support systems throughout the entire school. So please, if you yourself are in need, or you have neighbors or friends that are in need, I know there's been so much discussion when talking about the Franklin Food Pantry and SNAP benefits as we kind of end up on November 1 is right around the corner. If you are in need, take a look at our website. You can fill out the application, and it opens a door for so many supports throughout the school system beyond what the title is of free and reduced meals. The other big takeaway from those October 1 enrollment numbers is that when we started out with this reorganization process, one of the very first things that we did was to do forecast modeling. So we could really kind of see where our enrollment numbers, where are they now? Where are they going to be over the next 10 years? And so with those enrollment numbers that we kind of presented on last night, it shows what each school is at. But what it also does is take a look at, it was the 2024 enrollment projections, and says, well, how do they match up? Where's those projections match up to what we're actually living and breathing today? And what the answer is, it was pretty darn accurate. I mean, plus or minus maybe about 10 kids total. And we're going to continue to do that as we move forward, but why I think it's so important is we can kind of see that forecast modeling that we had embarked on. There's a high degree of confidence in a lot of the numbers. And not only do they just project out for this year, but they really took a look at the next 10 years in this McKibben study. And that enrollment projections that we were able to see as a good degree of confidence shows that those enrollment trends that we're at, we're effectively really kind of plateauing for our enrollment numbers. In about 10 years' time, you're going to start to see a slight uptick. And so I know ever since I've been on the school committee, there's been so many conversations about enrollment decline or the number of kids that we have in the schools. And so I think it was so fitting to kind of have at our final meeting these enrollment numbers that we can kind of see, we can turn that page and say that's not the situation that Franklin is in. We're in a situation where we have stable enrollment numbers for our kids, and the trend is going to continue on that way. So we can finally kind of turn that page, begin a new chapter with this new reorganization process as we kind of move forward. So I thank you all so much for your time, especially right now you've had a lot of late night meetings. I didn't stay up until midnight, nor did I stay up for that 18-inning World Series game, but I did catch it the next day. And I thank you all so much for the work and for this opportunity to be able to present out. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dave.
Appreciate you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is citizens' comments. Citizens are welcome to express their views for up to 3 minutes on a matter that is not on the agenda. In compliance with General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20, the Open Meeting Law, the council cannot engage in a dialogue or comment on a matter raised during citizens' comments. The town council may ask the town administrator to review the matter. Nothing herein shall prevent the town administrator from correcting a misstatement of fact during citizens' comments. Is there any citizen in council chambers, please come forward. So just name and address, please.
Sue Cass, 146 Long Hill Road. I have 2 traffic matters that I'd like to talk to you about. It's fitting that Dave just spoke, because the first one has to do with Keller Sullivan School and the traffic that you see coming out of there. I don't know what it looks like in the morning, but in the afternoon, it can be backed up, a long distance down Lincoln, and I wonder if that could be addressed somehow. I think it seems awfully unsafe. The other is a more personal traffic question, and that has to do with the dog park. We have 2 dogs that we take to the park every day. We have a number of friends there who also do the same thing. We're getting ready for winter and the ice and whatever else befalls us. And the parking situation for the dog park is impossible because there really isn't parking for the dog park. There are several small spots allocated for handicap parking only. People do not follow that. They use the spaces because many people have more than one dog, and like me, they're older. I can't safely bring my dogs down that hill on foot. And so at the very least, we end up driving down, taking the dogs out. Fortunately, there are 2 of us, so one of us stays at the park with the dogs while the other moves the car back. I would ask you, please, to consider putting in some parking for the dog park. This is a huge asset for Franklin. So many people know about this dog park and think that it's just wonderful, and I think it would be nice to give them places to put their cars safely. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
Thanks, Sue.
Thanks, Sue.
So true.
Okay, is there anyone else in council chambers that would like to speak on an item not on tonight's agenda? Please, just name and address, please.
Lynn O'Brien, 16 Holmes Ave. Mr. Chair and council members, good evening, everybody. I'm a lifelong resident of Franklin. I'm the chair on the Council on Aging, and I'm a nurse practitioner with over 30 years of providing care to the elderly and disabled population in our town and surrounding communities. I would like to let everybody know that November is officially recognized as National Family Caregivers Month in the United States. Did you know that here in Massachusetts, nearly 1.4 million residents are unpaid family caregivers? There are daughters, sons, spouses, neighbors, and friends who quietly hold our communities together, providing care worth more than $15 billion a year. In Norfolk County alone, there is an estimated 145,000 caregivers, unpaid caregivers. Right here in this room, there are many as well, helping loved ones with daily tasks, medical appointments, and sometimes navigating the difficult journey of memory loss and/or chronic illness. Across the Commonwealth, more than 218,000 caregivers support someone living with Alzheimer's or another form of dementia. Here in Franklin, 12.3%, or about 1 in every older adult in our community, lives with some type of dementia, predominantly Alzheimer's disease. Franklin wants to help and to let caregivers know that they are appreciated, respected, and not forgotten. The Friends of Franklin Elders are proud to host the first annual Caregiver Appreciation Day at the Franklin Senior Center on Friday, November 7th from 11 to 3. It's a day to relax, recharge, and be recognized. Enjoy mini spa treatments and wellness services, refreshments, raffles, music, and community resources. We have over 40 donators. Most are businesses right here in Franklin, and dozens of volunteers ready to make this a great day. Admission is free. RSVP is appreciated, so we have some idea of how many caregivers we plan to accommodate, but we will accommodate everybody who walks in that door and says that they are a caregiver. Caregivers who are unable to leave their loved ones alone are welcome to bring him or her to the center for their own special day. RSVP is mandatory for this to ensure that we have enough space and volunteers to supervise and assist. Every caregiver will walk away with a present to let you know that you are appreciated. Caregivers are the heart of our community, and on November 7th, it's our turn to care for you. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
You timed that perfectly.
Bring them out to your businesses. Tell everybody to come.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in council chambers? Please, name and address, please.
Hi there, I'm Sarah Amaral, Director at the Senior Center. I just wanted to give a couple updates to the community in case they don't know. Our van still has some slots for tomorrow and Friday for any seniors in need to get to Town Hall for early voting. We've also blocked off a few hours on the 4th just to get people from their homes or the center to here for voting. So if you have any struggle at all, please call us and we will fit you in. Your voice deserves to be heard whether or not you have access to transportation. And then just 2 updates kind of from the outreach side of things. We are getting a lot of calls about Medicare, rightfully so. So the first thing we're telling people is to breathe. The deadlines are in December. We have amazing Shine counselors that are working so hard to the point that we are now helping other communities that don't have appointments until 2026. So we are helping other towns. Those deadlines, if you have a change in your current program, that deadline is December 7th. If your plan no longer exists, you have until the 31st of December. So if you have any questions at all, give us a call. We will connect you with a Shine counselor who can do triage over the phone or meet with you at the center to answer all of your questions and make sure that the plan that you pick aligns with your medications, your current primary care. We want to make sure that you pick the right plan to best serve you. We're also getting a lot of calls about SNAP benefits. Thankfully, the town nurse put together a great list of resources. If you are worried, have concerns, regardless of age, give us a call and we will try and provide any resources that we can to you during this time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. Is there anyone else in council chambers, please? Just name and address, please, Gene.
Gene Grella, 36 Redgate Lane. First off, I wanted to just take a moment to thank you guys for your service for the last 2 years. Again, some of you leaving, some of you may be back, but we'll just take a moment to just thank you. You guys put a lot of time and effort into this. Over the last 2 years, you probably get a lot of emails, and probably half of them been from me. So thank you for listening. Second of all, I want to apologize for the spamming you guys today. I think I sent you 2 emails with a lot of information in it, but I'll just take a quick moment to tell you what I sent you on the second one. So I've been doing a lot of research on the comprehensive permits and going into the Massachusetts Guide to Comprehensive Permits. And under the section, it's under section 6 of the Local Initiative Program. What it says is that the CEO, in this case, that's the town council, has a lot of control in this process, this friendly 40B process. Page 71, and I cite the pages in the document so you can go back and look at it, but comprehensive permit projects must meet the requirements set out in GL 40B and the regulations, yada, yada. In addition, the project must have the written support of the chief executive officer, that is you. And you did initially do that. But then on page 72, it also says applications shall include a letter of support from the CEO of the municipality. But DHCD expects local public officials to act in good faith, and I'm just going to move down to the important part. If a project changes substantially during the course of permitting process, such that it's no longer consistent with that which was approved by the chief executive officer and DHCD reserves the right to request a letter from the chief executive officer stating that the project remains locally supported as a condition for final approval. And then on page 79, it talks about changes. What is a change? Any material change in any of the conditions of the determination of project eligibility. Examples, change in the development team, the number of units, unit mix, size, design, location, extensions. It goes on and says, et cetera, at the end. And then it talks about local approval. The developer must secure concurrence of the chief executive officer for the proposed change. DHCD will not issue an amended determination without such local approval. So anyway, to sum up, what this says to me is that the CEO, the town council, still remains very much a part of the control of this friendly 40B process, and you do have a say in it. And I think that it'd be great if we could hear from the town attorney on his thoughts on this. but I'll let you do that at the end of it. So thank you again. Thank you for your service, and that's it.
Thank you.
Perfect timing.
Please. Just name and address, please.
Calvin Gavelis. I am the resident of 103 Central Park Terrace, the low-income housing in Franklin. I'd like to address some concerns about the current state of the housing authority in Franklin. In the low-income housing, I've noticed that we have a numerous amount of elderly residents who I have full support of, and as a younger resident, this doesn't affect me personally. However, I'm very passionate for some of the elderly in my community, that they have a very hard time getting out and about. Some don't even have cars, and our current, in the upper section, we have a washer dryer compound inside the main service building for the community center. We have a problem where we have two dryers in the building. Out of three, two of them are broken. It's been that way for a while, and I just wanted to bring light to that. We have been focusing on, I would say, prettying up the area instead of bringing the needs for the people. Now, I know that's not necessarily your fault. It's just as someone who has been living in Franklin my whole life, I never see stuff get done for the people. At least in the broad spectrum. And now that I'm living in low-income housing, it's just a struggle because I have a car. I can go out and get my laundry done elsewhere. Some of the residents are less fortunate, and they're bound to what they have. And I just wanted to bring that to light today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there any, please, name and address.
Yeah, everybody should know this by now. 607 Maple Street, Franklin, obviously. I'm going to mirror something Jean said. I do want to say thank you to everybody. We don't know who will be here come November 5th, and there are 3 of you that are not running. As someone who has now spent the last 2 years doing numerous stuff, I do fully respect the time that goes into what is being done, even if we don't agree. But I'm here tonight to speak on a statement that was made at last week's meeting by our town administrator. You made a statement that you are not able to find a ZBA person at all within the town of Franklin. I've yet to see it posted. So if it is, and I'm mistaken, please let me know where it is. But on the website, I have not seen an opening posted anywhere. I also have a problem with the fact that, and you were very passionate while you were speaking, that you can't get anybody to run for these positions because of the way the residents act. Again, we blame the residents. Now, what happened at that particular planning board meeting? No, never should have happened. We should not be able to have meetings where police need to get involved because we are adults, and we should be able to have civil discussions even when we disagree. But to sit here and say that residents treat the people on these boards and committee wrong and make that statement is a very one-sided statement. I have personally witnessed towards myself where I've been disrespected or called out for things that shouldn't have never been mentioned at a public meeting. Where was the anger in that? Where was the accountability? There was none. I have been laughed at by a sitting council person on 3 different occasions and sat in a meeting while he also laughed at 3 other individuals while we were speaking at a microphone. Where was the concern with that? Where was the accountability for that? Where were the public apologies to us? Why I do respect the amount of time that goes into your job or your seat, whether it's council, school committee, appointed or elected or hired, you do not get respect just because you're sitting there. Getting those seats is not what determines whether or not you're respected. If you want respect, you must first give respect. Being on the seat, we respect the fact that you stepped up or that you served, whether it be for 5 minutes or 20, or in some cases 30 years, okay? I respect the time put in, but if you want residents to respect the people themselves sitting in those seats, regardless of where they are, it needs to go both ways. And I'm getting tired of listening to it being the residents' fault for everything that's going wrong in this town. It's not the residents' fault. We're the ones that fund the town. We deserve some respect too. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in council chambers that would like to comment on a matter not on tonight's agenda? Please, Steve, name and address.
Stephen Arnold, 520 Maple Street. As far as the residents and concerns, I'm grateful that the town has a tree warden. I observed the tree near my driveway, near the stone wall, that had fungus growing on the bottom, and I thought it was in danger of coming down. So I called the tree warden, and he was graciously got back to me via phone and text and link, and even if I went on my iPad, could see the property line, and he said that the stone wall is the town property, but the tree is my property, so that clarified it for me. Several years ago on Oak Tree Lane, he said the town owns a lot of property, and he took some trees down that I thought were on my property, but anyway, at the time, he said, well, there's another one on Maple Street that also needs to come down, and he took that down. And he said, so the tree is my responsibility, and I accept that. But, he said we shouldn't be spending taxpayer money on trees that don't belong to us. But I'm grateful that he got back to me, and that that he has done work for me in the past and referred. I said, I see you have Mayor Tree Service doing the tree work, and he said, well, in the future, this was the assistant tree warden, I can't think of his name right now, but he did say that the new tree person that you contract with is Northeastern or Northwestern Tree Service, and I was pleased with the response, and I'm glad I made the inquiry.
Thank you, Steve. Is there anyone else in council chambers that would like to speak on an item not on tonight's agenda? Mr. Sherlock.
Yes, thank you. Steve Sherlock, 13 Magnolia Lane, Community Information Director for Franklin Matters, Franklin Public Radio. Thank you as well for your service. Thank you to the town for facilitating the service as well. And it was a good thing that Lynn spoke, because if she wasn't here, I was going to put in a plug for the Caregivers Association Day. There will be an audio interview. We had a gorgeous conversation today. I learned a whole bunch more, and you'll be able to listen to that in the next couple of days. But clearly, November 7th, a place to be is at the Senior Center. So statistically, 80% of the Franklin registered voters, 80% of the Franklin registered voters don't care of the importance of this week in the run-up to the election that our town clerk has given us information about. A very sad statistic, but the numbers show historically, and I've tracked it from 2003 through, based on official data. Even during a presidential election, when major amounts of nauseating advertising, 20% of the voters still don't vote. Even at the state level for governor, et cetera, 40% of the voters don't vote. And those are, I'm talking Franklin, I'm not talking state, I'm talking Franklin voters. Even when it comes to specific dollar votes for Franklin, whether for school buildings or to fund operational budgets, and yes, we've had two of them fail by close margins, 55% of the voters don't get out of their chairs to do so. Voting now is easier than ever before. As you're aware, the town clerk updates us on that. Absentee ballot, vote by mail, early voting have all been added. All that's done is shift the percents of the voters from on the day to elsewhere. It has not increased the number of votes cast on election day or for total for the election. That is a problem. We need to address it. How can we do so? Well, you and I together can talk to our Franklin friends and neighbors and ask them, do you know there's an election? Are you going to vote? And if they say yes, great. There's information so you can be prepared to cast an informed vote. And if they say no, there's the opportunity to let them know that it is really important. The civic duty, honorable right to determine who governs us in delivery of our school, town services is directly dependent upon the volunteers. Yes, you're all volunteers and so am I, in doing what you do to provide oversight to the town and school operations. If they don't or won't vote, I would have to assume that for them, Franklin doesn't matter. My role, of course, is to create this information, share the accurate data, engage you and all my fellow residents here. Get out the vote, please. It's important. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Is there, please, come forward, Jackie, name and address.
Jackie Mayseal, 95 Elm Street. I'm not as good a writer in putting things together, and I can't talk as fast as Jane can. So I'm going to do something a little different. I've competed in kite competition and flown to music for many years. In 2016, this was the music I flew to, and I think it has an appropriate message for everyone. So I'm sorry it wasn't God Bless the USA, Counselor Chancellor, but I couldn't resist this tonight. Good luck to everybody.
Thank you, Jackie. Is there anyone else in council chambers that would like to speak on an item not on tonight's agenda? Seeing no one, is there anyone out there in Zoom land that would like to speak on an item not on tonight's agenda? I don't see anybody. Okay, moving on. We have no minutes to approve, no proclamations or recognitions, appointments. We have two. The first appointment tonight is the Agricultural Commission. Jennifer Sweeney as an associate member. Clerk will read the appointment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is an appointment to the Agricultural Commission for Jennifer Sweeney of 131 Stone Ridge Road, Franklin, Mass. 02038. The town administrator has appointed Jennifer Sweeney to serve as an associate member of the Agricultural Commission with the term to expire on June 30th, 2026. This is a motion to ratify the appointment by the town administrator of Jennifer Sweeney to serve as an associate member of the Agricultural Commission with the term to expire on June 30th, 2026.
Is there a second? Second. Motion and a second. Discussion, Jamie.
Pretty straightforward, and appreciate that we were able to find a spot for Jen, and look forward for her help.
Questions or comments from the council? Seeing none, again, just like to thank Jennifer for stepping forward and giving of her time to be an associate member. So seeing no further discussion, the vote will come on the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next appointment is Council on Aging, and that appointment is Roberta Trahan. Clerk will read the appointment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is an appointment for the Council of Aging, Roberta Chahan of 1 Green Street, Franklin, Mass. 02038. The town administrator has appointed Roberta Chahan to serve as a member of the Council on Aging with a term to expire on June 30th, 2027. This is a motion to ratify the appointment by the town administrator of Roberta Chahan to serve as a member of the Council on Aging with a term to expire on June 30th, 2027.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion on the motion.
I think she speaks for herself.
Yeah, she's pretty much,
The ultimate volunteer.
The ultimate.
And she's here too.
She's here too. Any other questions or comments from the council?
Just to thank you.
Again, Roberta, thanks again for again stepping up and giving of your time. So seeing no further discussion, the vote will come on the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on. Next item on the agenda is public hearings, and we have one public hearing continued from October 22nd. It's the multiple modifications of a Section 15 package store all alcoholic beverage license, change of license manager, change of officers, directors, and change of stock. Dharma Bhakti Corporation doing business as Liquor World, located at 365 West Central Street. I will declare the public hearing open. Please.
You want me up here? Okay.
Sure.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, council members. My name is John Aida from McNervick, Quilty, Miller and Hanley, 28 State Street, Boston. On behalf of the licensee, Dharma Bhakti Corporation, doing business as Liquor World. We have three requests this evening. We have first is a request for a change of manager of record. Joining me is Hitesh Patel. Mr. Patel is a current shareholder, current owner of Liquor World. He's going to be replacing Nitant Ravel as the manager of record. Briefly, by way of his experience, he has nearly 10 years' experience in the liquor industry. He has been at this store for approximately the past 6 years.
8 years.
8 years, okay. And he's also involved in 2 other stores, one in Medway, one in Blackstone. So he has significant experience in this sector. He is tip certified. He is also familiar with the rules and regulations of the town council, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as it pertains to sale and service of alcohol. So he'll be stepping in that role and coming on as the manager of record. And he's here if you have any questions specific to that request. I'll address the other two items as well. There is a transfer of stock. Shivam Patel, who is an existing shareholder and other owner, is purchasing 15% shares of stock from Nitant Ravel. And then lastly, he will be replacing Mr. Ravel in the capacity as secretary and director. And that was the change of officers and directors portion. Happy to answer any questions the council might have.
Thank you. Since this is a public hearing, I will go to the public first. Is there anyone in council chambers that has a question or a comment on this modification to the package store all alcohol beverage license? Is there anyone out there in Zoom land that has a question or a comment on this modification? I don't see anybody. Julie, do you? Okay, I'll go to the council. Mark, did you have, oh, okay. I couldn't tell whether your hand was,
No, I have been more visible
okay.
than that.
Okay, any questions or comments from the council? Seeing no questions or comments, I will declare the public hearing on the multiple modifications of a Section 15 package store, all alcoholic beverage license, change of manager license, change of officers, directors, and change of stock, Dharma Bhakti Corporation doing business as Liquor World, located at 365 West Central Street, closed. Okay, we'll go right to legislation while you're here, and we'll deal with the license transaction. And clerk will read the license transaction.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a license transaction modification of a Section 15 package store alcoholic beverage license, change of manager, change of officers, directors, and transfer of stock. Dharma Bhakti Corporation doing business as Liquor World, located at 365 West Central Street, Franklin, Mass. 02038. Dharma Bhakti Corporation doing business as Liquor World, located at 365 West Central Street, Franklin, Mass. 02038. Is seeking approval of multiple modifications of their Section 15 package store all alcoholic beverages license to include a change of manager with Nitant Raval to Hitesh Patel, change of secretary and director from Nitant Raval to Shivan Patel, and all transfer of stock from Nitant Raval to Shivan Patel. All departments have signed off on this application. This is a motion to approve the request by Dharma Bhakti Corporation doing business as Liquor World for the change of manager, change of officers, directors, and transfer of stock as described above.
Move resolution 25-67.
Second.
Wait a minute.
Close the hearing.
There's no
You already closed the
resolution.
hearing.
There's no, I already closed the hearing.
It's just a second.
It's just a
Oh,
second.
just a second.
Yeah, I made the motion.
Yeah.
You made the
Motion and a second. Discussion on the motion. Jamie?
All set.
Okay, questions or comments from the council?
Just good luck.
Seeing none, the vote will come on the license modification. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
luck.
Appreciate your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay, next we have one more license transaction. The Farmer Winery Farmers Market license, Bliss Point LLC, doing business as Bliss Point Meadery. Clerk will read the license transaction.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a license transaction, Farmer Winery Farmers Market license for Jeff Venuti, Bliss Point LLC, doing business as Bliss Point Meadery, the business is located at 1 Fox Run Road, Bedford, Mass. 01730. This is a request for Farmer Winery Farmers Market license to allow samples and sale of bottled wine at the Fairmount Fruit Farm Winter Farmers Market, located at 887 Lincoln Street, Franklin, Mass. 02038. Pursuant to Chapter 138, Sections 15F, this is a motion to approve the issuance of a Farmer Winery Farmers Market license to Jeff Venuti, Bliss Point LLC, doing business as Bliss Point Meadery.
Second.
Motion and second. Discussion on the motion. Jamie?
Yeah, just through you, Mr. Chairman, this is for the winter market, and Jeff has been a customer, and you've approved licenses from him in the past, so this should be pretty easy. He's on Zoom, but yeah, because we've approved this in the past and he's in good standing, all the departments have signed off on this.
Thank you, Jamie. Any other questions or comments from the council? Councilor Jones?
Just a quick question. When is the winter market? When does this start?
It's on Saturdays. It starts in November.
Oh, okay. Just curious. I haven't tasted your mead yet. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, yeah, you're missing out.
He's not missing out on much, but. Any other questions or comments? You all set, Councilor Jones?
Thank you.
Any other councilors? Seeing none, the vote will come on the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you to the council.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Good luck.
Okay, next item on the agenda is presentations and discussions. Our kind of presentations, by the way. From the Franklin Elks Riders, donations to the Veteran Services, and I'd like Shannon to come forward and talk to us. These are familiar faces coming forward that usually come bearing gifts.
Well, we're not going to upset you this week.
Okay, good.
No surprises.
Good.
Council, great to be back again this year. Just thinking about it tonight, this is our actual 6th year coming forward, and as always, we've had a great season, and very grateful for the help that the town gives us on our rides and whatnot. And I would like to present a check for $2,000 for the Veterans Gift Fund.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rich. Many of you may not know, Rich Gately is the president of the Franklin Elks Riders. I want to thank the Elks Riders so much for your very generous donation and your faithful and steadfast support. As Rich said, this is their 6th donation. They've been fundraising for Franklin veterans since 2020, before I even started in my role, and their total donations have been at least $12,000.
Wow.
These funds are crucial in providing bridge assistance to Franklin veterans facing a financial crisis or unexpected bills. The Elks Riders are true partners in our community's mission to serve our veterans, and they should be an inspiration to all of us. The Riders are also part of Franklin Elks Lodge 2136, which is an organization supports veterans in so many ways, including the Oil for Vets program and hosting our annual Veterans Day luncheon year after year, which will be held on Tuesday, November 11th this year as well. We would also like to thank other organizations and individuals who have made many generous donations to our Veterans Gift Fund and our Franklin Municipal Veterans Assistance Fund. In my role as Franklin VSO, I feel so fortunate that we have a supportive town council, town administration, and so many community partners like the Elks Riders who support our veterans. Thank you all for being here tonight. Rich, I know you have to wake up early tomorrow. You said something about 4 a.m., so it means a lot. All the hard work you do on behalf of our veterans, always showing up. I thank you for your generosity, your patriotism, and always having the backs of our veterans who have so faithfully served our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. We'll go right to the resolution. Resolution 25-68, gift acceptance, Veteran Services Department, $2,000. Clerk will read the resolution.
Very happy to read this resolution, Mr. Chairman. Resolution 25-68, acceptance of gifts. Veteran Services Department, whereas the Veteran Services Department has received a very generous donation in the total amount of $2,000 to be used at the discretion of the department as follows. Donation summary, Veteran Services Department, $2,000. Donation made by the Elks Riders is to be used at the discretion of the Veteran Services Department through the Veterans Gift Fund for programs and services in support of local veterans and their families. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Franklin, on behalf of the Veteran Services Department, gratefully accepts this very generous donation to be used at the discretion of the department for the purposes noted above. This resolution should become effective according to the provisions of the Town of Franklin Home Rule Charter.
Second.
You have to move first.
Oh, move resolution 25-68.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion on the motion. I think we've all said thank you so much for these, the generous donation that you continue to do for us, for our veterans. So thank you again. Seeing no further discussion, the vote will come on the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Resolution 25-69, gift acceptance. Veteran Services Department, $10,480. Clerk will read the resolution.
Be happy to, Mr. Chairman. Resolution 25-69, acceptance of gifts. Veteran Services Department, whereas the Veteran Service Department has received generous donations in the total amount of $10,480 to be used at the discretion of the department as follows. Donation summary. Veteran Services Department, $10,480. Excuse me. Donations to be used at the discretion of the Veteran Services Department through the Franklin Municipal Veterans Assistance Fund for programs and services in support of local veterans and their families. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Franklin, on behalf of the Veteran Service Department, gratefully accepts these very generous donations to be used at the discretion of the department for the purposes noted above. This resolution should become effective according to the provisions of the Town of Franklin Home Rule Charter.
Move resolution 25-69.
Second.
Motion and second. Discussion on the motion. Seeing none beyond, thank.
Just wow.
Yeah, just wow.
Yeah.
It's great, great stuff and great support from our community. Jamie?
Yeah, obviously it goes without saying, but I just also want to send a real shout out to the Adirondack Club for $10,000 donations. Pretty outstanding from Bob, so thank you.
Yeah. Any further discussion?
Oh, let's pass this fast.
Okay, seeing no further discussion, the vote will come on the motion to approve Resolution 25-69. A majority vote's required. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Resolution 25-70, adoption of cannabis licensing, local approval process, and, cannabis social equity policy. Clerk will read the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is Resolution 25-70, adoption of cannabis licensing, local approval process, and cannabis social equity policy. The Franklin Town Council, on behalf of the Town of Franklin, hereby adopts a cannabis licensing, local approval process, and cannabis social equity policy dated October 29th, 2025, attached hereto as Exhibit 1. This resolution should become effective according to the provisions of the Town of Franklin Home Rule Charter.
Move resolution 25-70.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion on the motion. Jamie?
So through you, Mr. Chair, this was, and through you to the council, this was a goal of the council and I's this year, not because we chose it, but because the state is telling us to do it. We have to do something. Just as a really quick overview, there's not a lot of communities that have gotten theirs approved yet. I think it's about 117 or 120 communities. are going to be required to do this because they host some sort of manufacturing or some sort of facility. I think we're the fourth that we'll put in for our policy to be approved by the state. I modeled this with the town attorney and the staff's help. We modeled this off the town of Shrewsbury. We kind of included our typical permitting process to date, our bylaws, our approved zoning maps into the framework Shrewsbury had, because Shrewsbury is the only town that's had theirs approved to date. So there's still 120 communities that haven't even gone forward with this. It is a state law, it is a regulation. I do expect that there'll be feedback from the commission back to us. We'll probably have to come back maybe at another day and revisit those changes. But this is uncharted territory for all municipalities, so we don't know exactly where the goalpost is. And quite honestly, just for the record, I'm not sure the state, quite frankly, knows where the goalpost is on this. As I've been a frequent critic of that agency, Massachusetts should just be treating these businesses like every other business and go through the local permitting process and not have all this stuff. But I don't make the rules. The state makes the rules on these, and this is a rule that we have to enforce. And the last thing I'll say is I did get a call from the licensing division, which oversees this, about 3 or 4 months ago. So they are trying to catch up. They are going to enforce it. It is going to be something down the line we're going to have to deal with. But you know, there's not a lot of changes in here to what we've done already from a policy standpoint. And as you can see in the memo in the packet, you know, I've heard a lot of people call for find new revenue options, find new business development, find new ways to create new growth, find new ways to build business without putting the tax burden on taxpayers. I fully support that. But this has been one of the most successful things this town's done in the last 7, 8 years, to bring in revenue, to not put that revenue on the backs of taxpayers. Most people going to the stores are coming from out of town, spending their money here and going back to wherever they're from, so that's a good revenue for the town. We're almost to $500,000 a year in our local budget. And you know, if you think back 10 years ago when Netta first arrived, they fixed up the old Daddario plumbing supply building. A lot of the individuals who work there were either from Franklin, have bought homes, either bought homes in Franklin. Netta's bought up a handful of other properties. They've renovated those. So that's new growth. So when we see in the budget in a couple weeks that new growth has gone down, it's telling us that a lot of these commercial projects are not happening. The financing is in trouble. The residential property improvements aren't happening. But this is an industry that has easily brought millions of dollars in tax revenue and tax base into this community. That's pretty good. And this is a really great success story. So I put a list in here with some other information if people are curious, but that's generally the overview of the vote tonight.
Thank you, Jamie. Any other questions or comments from the council? Okay, seeing none, the vote will come on the motion to approve Resolution 25-70. A majority votes required. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Resolution 25-67, expenditure limits for FY 2026 on departmental revolving funds established by Franklin Town Code, Chapter 73, as provided in Mass General Laws, Chapter 44, subsection 53E and a half, as amended, electric vehicle charging stations. Clerk will read the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is Resolution 25-67, expenditure limits of FY 2026 on departmental revolving funds established by Franklin Town Code, Chapter 73, as provided in Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Sections 53E and a half, as amended. Whereas the Franklin Town Council has adopted a bylaw establishing a chapter of the Franklin Town Code, Chapter 73, departmental revolving funds, as provided in Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half, as amended by Chapter 218 of the Legislative Acts of 2016, and whereas Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half, as amended, further provides that the municipality's legislative body shall annually set the expenditure limit for each revolving fund established under the local bylaw. Now therefore be it moved and voted that the Franklin Town Council hereby sets the expenditure limit for electric charging stations revolving fund established under Franklin Town Code, Chapter 73, departmental revolving funds for fiscal year 2026 as follows. Section 5G, electric charging stations, $200,000 The Finance Committee action was a unanimous vote on October 22nd, 2025. This resolution should become effective according to the provisions of the Town of Franklin Home Rule Charter.
Move resolution 25-67.
Second.
Motion second, discussion, Jamie.
This is the final vote to create the self-sustaining account for the charging stations in town. So now people are paying into them, so they'll pay the electricity. And some of the receipts have been coming in a little bit, it's a good thing. People are using them. But we had to up the amount to $200,000 in that account. I would expect next year, the year after, you're probably gonna have to up that amount again. But as you all know from being here, this takes, a couple of years to phase in. So the Finance Committee recommended this the other night, 8-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Questions or comments from the council? Seeing none, the vote will come on the motion to approve Resolution 25-67. A majority votes required. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And Town Administrator report.
It's early.
How about that?
So a couple of, just a whole bunch of updates. Number one, it is now official. The Town of Franklin now officially owns the net trail from Grove Street to downtown You can check it on the, stick a fork in me. Yeah. This has been a lot. You'll read about it in my book someday, buddy. It's been a incredible ride, and a man who never gets credit, who is one of his best acts. While we were on the 1 yard line, we were met with a little bit of a kerfuffle about, are you gonna record the deed first or pay us first with CSX? And Mark pulled a rabbit out of a hat and came up with an amazing way to appease both of us, to record the deed and pay the money all. And I want to thank John Vignon, attorney that many of you know well. He helped us mitigate that as well. So thank you very much, John Vignon, for your help in the last week and a half. It was really quite a story for another day. But thank you to the town attorney, and it does feel good. And before everybody goes hiking on it and stuff, there's still a lot of work to be done. But if you go look at the Registry of Deeds, it's officially owned by the Town of Franklin. So that's really good. So for parking, several years down the road with municipal parking, we are going to ask Rep. Roy for an appropriation in the environmental bond bill to help design out that whole parcel, and hopefully that will relieve some of the municipal parking issues down in that neighborhood as well, on kind of that front parcel near Union Street. So that's great. Also yesterday, formally, we have closed on Franklin Ridge. So now the financing is in place. Now the folks who have taken that project over will be able to put out the general contractor bid. I know I've said this many times recently, but now that piece is in place, and I want to thank all the lenders, Citizens Bank and a bunch of others, for being able to be a part of that and getting this job done. I anticipate, some information sessions probably in the spring down at the Senior Center. Just trying to get people the right information out there and when they can get into the lottery and stuff like that. Again, it's anticipated, barring the economy and barring, supplies, it's anticipated this is about an 18 to 20 month project. So people can look forward to hopefully an opening or a ribbon cutting sometime in late 2020, around now in 2027, hopefully. So that's really good. Want to thank the 250th anniversary folks already for getting together a little bit. There'll be a formal meeting announcement once we have a date. We hope by the end of the November we'll be able to have their first date. There'll be a bunch of celebrations around that. For those that were concerned about the propane tank hearing, I'm sure you've heard on Facebook or somewhere. We had a hour and a half today, maybe an hour, excuse me, where a bunch of residents showed up. The fire chiefs and deputy fire chief were there. They answered everybody's questions. Eventually there'll be minutes or the video can be published. I just have to assure everybody, from the engineers and all the people working on that project, I do think that the fears that people have of some sort of incident are a little bit unfounded, but because a few people didn't get their butter notifications on the day that they hoped, I continued the hearing to Monday at 3 o'clock so that anybody that was unavailable to come today is available to ask their questions and share their opinions on Monday at 3 o'clock. Huge kudos to the farmers market, Roger and Lauren, for another incredible year. They sent us a report a little bit earlier, and just want to thank them for their incredible work. And finally, just regarding the question that was brought up by Mr. Grella earlier about 444, I'm not going to comment any further on these details. Just so folks have known, I've emailed Mr. Grella back the opinion for myself and the town attorney. I respect all the research that he has done on 444, but I truly believe at this point, the only way the residents are going to find out the answers to some of the questions that have been brought up is I think the community just has to go through the process of finalizing the hearing at Stobart, seeing what the decisions are, going through whatever appeals and lawsuits come out of that. Unfortunately, we just don't share the same information, and I just think at the end of the day, there's really not much I'm going to say. There's probably not much that Mark is going to say, or very few other people that's going to really clarify the questions that people have. I've emailed Gene every single time he's contacted me. I think he's acknowledged that before. I've given him my opinion. I put it right there in black and white. I know the town attorney has chimed in on that as well. I know the ZBA attorney has chimed in on that, and I know the state secretariat, Ed Augustus's office, and his lawyer has chimed in on this. I just got to be clear. 121 Grove Street had a denied LIP from the town council. The town council voted it down 4-5. They went to the ZBA and got an approval, and went to Mass Housing and got an approval, okay? But I truly believe that to quell all of the questions and concerns people have, the only way that's going to happen is by everybody and all of us going through this process to see the end of it. Because we're just kind of, I think at some point, we're just not on the same page, and that's okay. It's okay to have different feelings about different comments and research. It's okay. We have to be okay with that, because eventually this is, when the ZBA finishes their hearing soon, and I believe that that will be sometime by the end of the calendar year, the decision by the ZBA will be made. And in all likelihood, there will be appeals and there will be lawsuits. So Act 1 will be over, but Act 2 will just start. And that will go on for another year, 2 years or plus, depending on how all those adjudicatory proceedings go. And then at some point, because of the environmental sensitivity of the site, DEP will almost surely get involved, like at Madeline Village up off of Cottage Street. So I just got to be honest with people. I understand where people's emotions are in these. I know people have high feelings on this stuff, but we're just getting through Act 1. There's going to be Act 2 and probably Act 3. So this is going to be a long way away. And what I truly hope more than anything else is that the community, as part of the immense amount of engagement in 4044, I hope people take with them this experience about how complicated and challenging housing law is, court precedent is, and all of these other facts. I just can't say anything more about the LIP. I've already stated it all a million times, and that's just where we come from in the administrator and town attorney's office. Grove Street was denied, and it still went through. And so if people think the LIP somehow is like the beholden vote, it just simply isn't. So thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate it. And well, one last thing. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. I did have a note here. Obviously, being the last meeting, I just want to thank Councilor Chandler very much for all of his support and his service. I want to thank Councilor Hamlin for all of your service and support. I say to two of you beforehand because you're two pre-pandemic councilors. And from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of the whole staff, the whole team, I can't sit up here and give a 20-minute speech, but we've all been through a lot. And when I look at the citizen satisfaction survey, sure, there's some issues with honesty. There's some issues that people have with transparency in the community. But if you look at all the other scores and all the other departments, your support and your leadership have been immensely valuable. And thank you to you too, Councilor Frangillo, very much for all of your support and your dedication. I feel like in some ways I've almost watched some of you grow up. I remember the first time I met with you, we went and got coffee over across the street when you had just come home from college. And it's 5 years ago, you're a pandemic counselor, if you will, when you got on in the special election. It feels like 10, 15 years ago where I watched you and Jen Williams and Beth Whirling fight for an associate planning board seat in this chamber where there was a vote. Multiple votes. But without going on any further, I love you all very much. Thank you so much for all of your incredible support and dedication to this community. Thank you for making the place a lot better, and thank you on behalf of all the staff for your incredible commitment to all of us and your support of the staff over 5 or 6 incredibly challenging and tumultuous years. So kudos to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, subcommittee reports. I don't believe any but EDC. EDC always meets.
Isn't that fun?
Councilor Hamblin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through the chair, the EDC did meet tonight, before the full council meeting.
Sorry.
No,
that's funny. We did vote to approve multiple minutes from multiple meetings. I think it was about 30 of them. And we did have our counselor comments, and we kind of, if you think about future agenda items, maybe there's a bunch in there. I'm not going to say that I have some tonight, but there's just kind of like our hopes and dreams for the future of Franklin and what we see that would be really important to remember as we go forward. But it was a really good meeting, and we. Do you guys have anything to add? No?
Just Kobe's wish list, if you want.
Kobe has a long wish list.
You go
like he
online,
always does.
watch the wish list.
But, and that was.
It's a 3-ring binder?
Yes, it is, yeah. It'll be another 30 pages of minutes. But thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Hamblin. I don't believe there was any other meeting in, sorry, no,
So
Kobe and Gatra.
GATRA didn't meet, but I did want to say, I've been the GATRA representative, been proud of that, with me no longer continuing my time with council. I am passing that on. Is that something that we're able to announce?
I think he signed the letter a little while ago. Yeah.
So our new director of planning and community development, Morena, will be taking my place as the GATRA representative, which I think is a great opportunity for her. I've been able to meet with her already. I'm going to meet with her again specifically on GATRA to make sure that she has all the information that she needs. Me and a team of students that I've been working with at the high school are meeting with the GATRA administrator on Tuesday to talk about some of their research that they've done on the benefits of returning a fixed bus route to town.
Great. And Kobe, thank you so much for taking that role. I know you were a little hesitant when I asked you to jump on with that, but you've done a great job.
They make me feel grateful for these meetings, which is...
Okay, future agenda items, Councilor Sheridan,
Nothing this time.
Councilor Frangillo, the list you've served. Councilor Hamblin,
Nothing at this time.
Councilor Cormier Ledger,
Nothing at this time, sir.
Councilor Chandler,
Nothing at this time.
Councilor Pellegri, Councilor Jones,
No, sir. No.
Councilor DeLarco. Okay, we'll go to councilor comments. Councilor Cormier Ledger.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, thank you to the Franklin Elks Riders and to all of the donors that made those incredible donations today. That's truly inspirational. So glad to see the announcement from Habitat for Humanity about the local family that's going to be benefiting from that incredible housing. That's really special. Anyone that hasn't seen, the Franklin Food Pantry has put out an emergency need due to the SNAP benefits ending at the end of this month. So if anybody is inclined, I happened to drive by there yesterday and there was already a line of people out the door and down to 140 waiting for groceries, which is very sad to see, but also inspiring that we have that food pantry there for them to meet their needs. Thank you to the Interfaith Council and to Representative Roy. They conducted an anti-Semitism panel last night at the high school that I was able to attend. It was fascinating. The discussion was really robust. The panel was from all over, and they gave some really great information and some that I've relayed to the school department asking for their help, which we'll see what happens. And lastly, I know we've thanked Councilor Chandler, we've thanked Councilor Frangillo, we've thanked Councilor Hamblin. for their incredible work over the time. But I want to take a minute and thank everybody, because we don't know what Tuesday is going to bring, and some of us may be here again and some of us may not be here again, but I'm proud of the work that this 9 has done, and the community should feel good about the work that this 9 has done, and it's truly been an honor working with all of you. So, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Cormier-Ledger. Councilor Chandler.
Well, that's through you, Mr. Chairman. All right, this is the last of my goodbye tour right here. 3 elections, 6 years. I'm very honored to have been able to serve this Franklin community. These 6 years, I've had a lot of fun. I really have. I've had a lot of fun. I mean, I can't say, you just said it very well, Counselor, but it's been great to work with all of you guys, and I've worked with you for a few years. And even when we've disagreed, we've still been able to work together, so that's really great. Next, we'll go right to Jamie's crew. Thank you for everything, your whole department, and the department heads, who, most of them have all been here for my 6 years, so I've worked very well with all of them. And lastly, basically the residents. That's where I've gotten the most joy out of everything, is trying to help them, even fix a few potholes, a couple things like that. I have to just say this. Look, everyone, I used this line before, but if I didn't aggravate you a couple times, then I didn't do my job, okay? So please, I made you happy a couple times, I made you aggravated a couple times, but, so that means I did my job. And my very last thing is, Jamie will know this, I stole this line from Jeff Nutting. They loved you on your first day, and they loved you on your last day, so all my friends are back. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Well said, Councilor Chandler. Councilor Pellegrini.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to also say about the food pantry and challenge anyone out there to make a donation to the food pantry. They're in need of articles, food and whatever, but they're mostly in need of money so that they can go into Boston and buy at a better rate than that, and they can get more. So please, send some money, send a donation to the food pantry. On Facebook, which I know we don't listen to everything that's there, but people had been talking about the Halloween, for the parade and that we're not going to do for the kids this year.
Oh, the police station.
Yeah, at the police station. And I'm sorry for that, because I wish that they had got out sooner so that we could have got something together and we could have done it ourselves, through the police department, but with donations and that, we would have done it. So instead, the kids had lost out completely on the parade, which they look forward to. I remember my own kids looking forward to it. So I had put a challenge again out on Facebook that we can do something for Christmas. And anyone that would like to help me, we'll put together a little group and we will try to plan for the common, Santa's arrival. And I'm not sure if they were going to do that again. Jamie, have they been in touch with you? No.
They never traditionally have.
They never have it?
No.
Okay.
They don't
But
work.
if we can do that, we can
Right.
probably have like a little, they like parades, so we can do a little parade around the common and whatever, but I'll see, I already got about 4 or 5 people that have got in touch with me that want to work on something to have it for Christmas. So anyone listening now, you can give me a call or, check on Facebook. I'm pleased that Gene came forward tonight. I had talked to him and said, yes, please come again to the council meeting and let us know what's going on. I'm going to ask the same question that I've asked before. It seems like it's the state versus the town. And we're not going to, well, yeah, it does seem like that. But I just want it to be said again. There's nothing that we can do. We can vote, the council, for this LIP, and we can do that, and then what happens, happens, you know? I think we need to take a stand. We have to show the people that, you know, when we're not wimps, we can certainly make a decision on what we should do. And that's my opinion, it's not the rest of the council here, although I would hope that they would agree with me with that. So, I just wish that we could vote to disband it and see what happens. You know, just end it. You said it was gonna take now until the first of the year. That's a long time. That's a long time. But, okay, that's my opinion on that. And again, Jean, thank you for coming forward and giving us this information. And thank you for all the work that you've done on this. Now I have something that, the Daisy Field. This has been something with the sign. And I think the sign is terrible. And I think it was a waste of money, that we didn't have to do that now. What are we showing the residents of Franklin? I mean, we're supposed to be watching our pennies. We've done away with programs in that in the school. We've done away with programs here in the town, on the municipal side. And then we go to do something like this to put up change the sign there. That bothers me. And I don't know who it was, Jamie, if it was you or how it came about that way, but I just think that we could have used that money elsewhere. I want to thank the Elks and the veterans for their donations tonight. I think that was wonderful. They come forward every year for us, and we appreciate it. And lastly, I want to thank Nancy for all her time that she spent coming before the board here, you know, and to letting everyone know. So it certainly isn't your fault, our fault, or whatever. We've got to get people out to vote. You know, when I was clerk, I can remember someone saying, why don't you give out free ice cream? I got candy, I got candy. You got to do something to get people in here. So it hasn't changed at all. Hasn't changed, but I just don't understand why people are not coming out to vote. It's crazy, it really is. And I'm looking here, and I think I have all little marks on. I'm thrilled about the Franklin Ridge and the Snet Trail. That's very good. Farmers Market has done wonderful, and we thank you so much for all their hard work. And to our counselors here that will not be coming back that we know of, Melanie, Kobe, and my partner in crime over here. I'm going to miss him so much. Thank you for all you've done. And you've been on so many committees and with the master plan and EDC, and I mean, you've done so much. You've done, I don't know what you're going to do with all your free time. I'm sure you'll find something though. But thank you for everything. And also for all of the counselors here tonight. We don't know who's going to be here next November 5th after the election. But November 4th, we're going to see what happens, and we only hope that, well, I only hope that I'll still be here. All right, it's been close to 42 years, so I would like to continue, and we'll see what happens. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Pellegrini. Councilor Sheridan.
I just want to thank all the councilors too, when one's leaving, everybody else. And happy Halloween, and hopefully everybody's safe. It's going to be a rainy night, I heard. That's it, thank you.
It's supposed to rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Councilor Frondillo.
First, there's a planning board candidate night. We were able to throw it together. It's going to be co-hosted by Ben for Franklin and Franklin Matters. It's a virtual planning board night. It's your one opportunity to meet the candidates and hear them answer some questions. The Zoom link is on Franklin Matters and benforfranklin.org. Again, tomorrow at 8:30, all three candidates will be attending. It's a great way to get to know them, and the recording of that will be available on YouTube after. It's going to be super quick, so tune in at 8:30, and you should have all the information you need within a half hour. Okay. Apologies, gonna take some time here, but when I first ran for council, I had hand wrote and mailed a letter to neighbors to introduce myself and share my values with the community. And since then, I've continued to write an election season letter that reflects on our accomplishments and opportunities. So I'm gonna tonight read an abridged version of my final Dear Neighbor letter of this council chapter. I'll share a more complete version on my newsletter and on social media in the next few days. Apologies if this was a tad longer than the previous letters, but also credits to all y'all for getting so much done. Dear neighbor, as I close out my 5th and final year on the Franklin Town Council, I've been reflecting on how lucky I've been to serve the community I love, a town that has given my family so much. My grandmother Jo, who ran the Little White House dress shop on Union Street and helped found the Women's Success Network, taught me that leadership is rooted in care, not credit. My grandfather Ed, a Korean War veteran, a smiling crossing guard at the Kennedy School for 17 years, showed me that the smallest acts of service can mean the most. Together, they modeled what it means to love and invest in one's town. My parents, Sandy and Rich, have continued the same spirit forward through decades of volunteering, teaching, and coaching Franklin kids. It was their example that inspired me to run for local office 5 years ago. And every step since has reminded me what's possible when neighbors work together for the common good. Though I'm not seeking re-election, I'll remain deeply involved through leadership with the SAFE Coalition, Ben for Franklin, Franklin Bellingham Rail Trail Committee, and other efforts that strengthen our shared future. When I joined the council, I set out to help Franklin become more connected, equitable, and forward-looking, a community that invests in its people, protects its resources, and plans for the long term. Together, we've made that vision real. We preserved more than 200 acres of open space at Maple Hill and Schmidt Farm, planned new trail connections, and advanced the rail trail extension that will soon bring new life to the downtown and the crossing. We adopted a complete streets plan, improved sidewalks and intersections, and began long-term stormwater and sustainability planning. We supported local businesses through new tools like the Business Guide, pop-up shops, food truck expansion, the town's first branding and wayfinding plan. We restored historic buildings, encouraged mixed-use reuse of the mill properties, and strengthened our fiscal health, including earning Franklin's first ever AAA bond rating. We expanded senior and veteran tax relief, created fee assistance for low-income residents, helped the food pantry find a new home. We achieved national recognition in public safety. The fire department earned its ISO Class 1 status. The police department earned full accreditation. We remain one of the safest communities in the nation. We legalized accessory dwelling units townwide, made multifamily housing by right downtown, and passed inclusionary zoning to ensure that our new homes include affordable options. These changes, alongside our housing production plan and Franklin for All zoning effort, lay the groundwork for a more vibrant, sustainable town center. And serving as vice chair of the master plan committee has been one of my proudest roles. After a 2-year public process, Franklin adopted a 10-year roadmap that reflects our shared vision. Walkable neighborhoods for all incomes and abilities, fiscally responsible, sustainable growth, and a thriving local economy rooted in Franklin's historic character. We expanded the mental health clinician program, launched the nation's first art pharmacy initiative, connecting residents in recovery to creative experiences, and helped secure a dedicated arts and culture coordinator. We welcomed a children's museum, raised the pride flag, installed public art and bike racks downtown, supported murals, movie nights, and cultural festivals that make Franklin more joyful and connected. We even brought a cricket pitch to the Kennedy School, a small proof that our community continues to find ways to come together. I've done my best to try to make local government more accessible, hosting community conversations on race, police, and education, launching the Franklin Freedom Team, holding reverse office hours, posting council updates, and leading public walks and workshops on land use and housing. I've worked with students on greenhouse gas, transit, and infrastructure planning because civic life should be a classroom for everyone. What matters most to me, though, are the moments of connection. It's the conversations on the rail trail. It's the laughter at the Harvest Fest. It's students presenting in council chambers. It's neighbors swapping ideas at zoning workshops. These are the moments that keep Franklin strong. Franklin's strength has always been rooted in its people, teachers, volunteers, first responders, and small business owners who keep our community vibrant, but we face real challenges. We see unsustainable development patterns, straining town finances and infrastructure. We're witnessing the erosion of our public education, our library, and other vital town services, the very institutions that define Franklin's identity. And we feel the division and online negativity that can drown out empathy and understanding. In recent years, I've worried about how easily cynicism can take hold. It's tempting to define our town by what we oppose instead of what we can achieve together. But Franklin's story has never been written by fear. It has always moved forward when we've been willing to say yes. Yes to new ideas, to new neighbors, and to belief that progress here is still possible. The more we focus on what connects us, the stronger Franklin becomes. Our public library, which has made me tear up in multiple meetings, reminds me of what's best about local government. The power of collective investment to create something extraordinary. With the humblest, hardworking staff, Franklin's Library offers engaging, accessible programming for families, elders, and students. As the home of the first public library in the nation, Franklin can lean proudly on its legacy of shared learning and collective care. It stands as proof of what is possible when we choose optimism and to build something lasting together. Some gratitude. To Franklin's staff and department heads, your professionalism, creativity, and commitment often go unseen, but never unfelt. To Jamie, thank you for running a tight ship that keeps Franklin marching forward and for never shying away from tough conversations about the town's future. My colleagues, including Brian, thank you for your partnership, your questions, and your willingness to wrestle with hard issues. As the chair, thank you for modeling how to lead with collaboration, vision, and respect for what has been. I want a special thanks to Councilor Hamblin. Mel is a humble, hands-on advocate for families, farms, conservation, small businesses. She is my reminder of how much can be accomplished when you don't care who gets the credit. Thank you. Franklin's next chapter will be defined by how boldly we continue this work. I hope to see us launch a fixed bus service and expand bike and pedestrian networks so every resident can move safely and affordably around the town. I'd like to see us continue downtown zoning and parking reform to strengthen small businesses, housing, and public life. I'd like to see us establish a sustainability coordinator and committee to lead on climate and energy. I'd like to support students on committees, safe routes to school, and public art that connects our neighborhoods. And I'd like to deepen our commitment to the schools and library, the civic and cultural hearts of Franklin. Organizations like Ben for Franklin and Franklin Forward give me confidence that this work will continue, sharing a commitment to complete neighborhoods, fiscal responsibility, and inclusion, the same values that have guided my service. To everyone who shared ideas, raised concerns, volunteered, voted, or simply stopped to chat, thank you. You've shaped my understanding of what community really means. Franklin has always been a place defined by service, care, and connection. I'm proud to have played a small part in its story, and even prouder to know that the story is far from over. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilor Frangillo. Councilor Hamblin.
I have to go after that?
Sorry about that.
I wrote stuff, but it wasn't like that. Thank you, Councilor Frangillo. It's been a pleasure. First, I would like to thank Chair Mercer for his leadership. He was elected chair the second year of my first term, and without him, I doubt I would have run again. My fellow councilors, our time that we spend together have bonded us. Even if we didn't agree on everything, we have lived on this side of the desk together, and that is something that no one can ever take away. The town staff, all the departments across the town, and even other elected officials, like the school committee and the planning board that we work with all the time and all the things that we do, the budgets or like bylaws and things. It takes everyone together to work together as a team to get this stuff done, right? I mean, I grew up in a scout family. I was a Girl Scout for over 25 years. And when hiking, I would always follow, and I still do, the take only pictures, leave only footprints, pack it in, pack it out. Today, I still pack out my stuff when I go to the town parks, and I carry my poop bags with me for my dog, you know. I've also lived by the campground rule, that is, leave a place better than you found it. And that is why I always enjoy the meetings where we go over our goals for the year and what we've accomplished. Right? It helps remind us about what we have accomplished and our impact on our community. So I start to list the actions that the town council has taken that I have championed or supported, with other colleagues have brought to the table. That for the past 8 years that I just like grabbed up, and I just grabbed a bunch of them, because I'm not sure people understand all the things that we've actually accomplished together as a team in the past 8 years. I'm going to read some of the list, and I'm not sure everyone will like everything, but that's kind of, like Councilor Chandler said, that's kind of what happens, right? When you have a broad range. It is interesting to me, at least to me, that there's a broad scope of issues that we've addressed. And while some of these issues will never have a great solution, we have to decide which non-perfect solution was the best for the community when do nothing is not an option. So you may have thought that some of these things that I'm going to mention to you tonight have always existed. You might always have assumed, like, well, of course we can do that. But no, these are the past 8 years, okay? Before I was on the council, I created the Agriculture Commission to support the agriculture in town and to help give people who don't have a voice in government a voice in government. And then, once I was elected, I'm gonna go fast, more reasonable regs for keeping chickens, brewery, winery, distillery, tasting rooms. And then we expanded the size limits. We adjusted it. Plastic bag ban bylaw that came from the Franklin High students. Allowing for food trucks and setting aside public spaces for them. Chose the highest local sales tax collection allowed on a cannabis sale. Expansion of the Veterans War Memorial. New water treatment plant on Grove Street. Mixed business innovation zoning district created. Think the area around Clark Cutler and what it looks like now. Stormwater utility and public outreach. Join the opioid litigation. More handicap parking spaces created downtown and at the town common. Hey! Civil discourse pledge. Flag policy. Community Preservation Act. I mean, wow, what a huge thing, right? We actually have funds to preserve our historic buildings. Brick Schoolhouse, museum, like the historic museum, the South Meeting House. Recreation, just the first one, the Nason Street tot lot got redone, right? Open space, Maple Hill, Schmidt's Farm, that was like my drop the mic moment. And I think, do we use affordable housing, do we use for the Franklin Ridge? Community preservation funds for housing went to the Franklin Ridge affordable senior housing. Opening downtown parking for first come, first serve. Arts and culture listening tour. Beaver Street interceptor replacement. All the lot line cleanups that went on in 8 years. I think in total it took 10 years to do it, but we got it done. Shared commercial kitchens and home use for cottage food industry. Big deal there. MBTA communities, Franklin for All. SNED extension, marketing and branding. Joint budget committee, bringing the budget to the people. It's a big deal. And all of those balanced budgets, and some of them were not very easy.
No.
Right? Sure. Snow removal bylaw, sidewalk bylaw, inclusionary zoning bylaw. They said it couldn't be done, but we did it. Washington and Grove Street intersection improvement. The master plan, amazing, right? the Crossing Neighborhood Zoning District, and the ADUs. And I'm gonna stop because I just, like, couldn't do any more. So, I'm sure there are many more, especially through the COVID in our online meetings. That was not easy, and it was actually pretty painful at times.
Yes.
It's really difficult to remember, but I do remember that Franklin stayed open.
Yep.
We continued to meet, thanks to Franklin TV
Nice.
for setting us up to do so, and when other communities just stopped. There were no building permits permitted. We had our building permits, we had the clerk's, treasurer's office, everybody did their thing, we kept going. That's teamwork. And while I've been thinking about this list and pulling these things together, I received a note in the mail from someone. And I wanted to read it to you. Melanie, as your term on the council comes to an end, I'm writing to thank you for your service for the people of Franklin. You are exactly what the town and the council needed. Many thanks. This is what I wish for all of my colleagues, past, present, and all the future counselors. Because we're bonded together. When you sit here, we're all bonded. We're all together. We're all colleagues. Through all the negativity, I wish that you can look back on your accomplishments, like I have just done. Receive a heartfelt letter letting you know that yes, you are leaving this place better than when you got here. And that is non-debatable.
Thank you, Mel. Counselor Jones.
Wow.
Yeah,
follow those two.
Jeez, that dealt. I mean, everybody. Everything that's been said tonight. I mean, I have to follow that? Get out
Yes,
of
you do.
touch.
You don't have to.
Wow. I will state this, and this is just kind of follows suit a little bit what Ted was saying earlier. I want to thank the full council that's sitting here. You are a wonderful team. You know, and that's really what this has been for the past 2 years, is a great team. And yes, have there been times where we've disagreed on topics? Absolutely, but that's the best part of being a team. We all play our role, we all play our part, and we pitch in where things are needed to be done, and collectively, we're successful. Just listening to the list tonight, I think everyone in the audience and everyone at home should be proud of all of the accomplishments that have been rattled off tonight. And there's so many to count. I mean, Mel could have kept going, Kobe could go on and on, I could go on and on with how many accomplishments there are, but really what it boiled down to at the end of the day is we persevered. We, meaning the council, together worked hard. Countless volunteer hours that every single one of you have put in to make this accomplishment. It's amazing to me, because when you look back on it, and there's many things that many people sitting in the audience and at home don't really realize, is a lot of what goes on, not necessarily behind the scenes, but in other meetings, in subcommittee meetings, at master plan meetings, at budget subcommittee meetings. There's countless hours by countless people, and those hours are all volunteer. These are volunteer folks. Nobody is paid to do this job, but what the payment is for this job is serving our community, is really giving back to our community. And I think, Mel, you probably coined it the best, is leaving the place better than you found it. I have no idea if I will be sitting back in the seat next week. God willing, I will be. But let me tell you something. This is by far one of the best jobs I have ever had in my life. I don't even sit, one of the oldest expressions is, if you're having fun, it's not a job. And I've had a lot of fun doing this over the years and working with you folks. You know, I love the different ideas and different opinions and different thoughts. And Kobe, your passion when you came on the council, that you continued through your tenure here. It's inspiring for me because you bring such a vibrancy and a youth to this that helped me see things in different ways that I've never thought about before. And Mel, your wisdom is amazing. Just your humbleness and your wisdom really, it's extraordinary. that energy, and I love having you next to me because it radiates. Occasionally you hit me in the knee, tell me to
Like kick you off?
shut the hell up.
Yeah, I think you're feeling something more specific.
But you bring so much energy to this, and it's addictive, and it wears off. Brian, God bless you, sir. You know, for all of your services, both as a police officer and here as a counselor over the past 6 years. You know, Brian, the one thing that I've admired about you, and I still will continue to admire about you, is how you say it like it is. And you say how you feel, and you say it with such honesty and such passion. And I loved your comment earlier when you said, hey, some people might not like what I have to say, and some people will. And that's a fact. That's a fact of the matter. You know, we can't please everybody. It's, at the end of the day, and just to quote what former Chairman Bob Valley used to say, is we are here to vote and support 34,000 people in this community. This has never, ever been, or never should be, about us, ourselves, or any individual groups that come along. Our decisions collectively are decided on behalf of the whole community. And anybody who sits in this seat next week needs to take that advice from Mr. Valley. We make decisions for everybody in this community. And that's a heavy weight to carry, but I've been proud to carry it as long as I have, and I really hope to continue that job. And along that lines, Mr. Chairman, I want to add just a quick note about you, is you've brought a real sense of pride to this council, mainly because the changes that you've made over the years, I mentioned it before, I'll just mention it again, is it, like, for instance, tonight, having people come in, and last week bringing the fire department in and having them do their promotions and honoring the police and allowing the police and the fire departments to do these very honorable ceremonies. That is a change to this council that really brought it to the next level. And that means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to the community, and it means a lot to the departments and the department heads, that you have shown them such respect and such honor that I want to see that continue here at the council level, because they deserve the respect that they get, they deserve the honor that they get, and I just wanted to take an opportunity, because even if I'm not voted in next week, I'm still going to stay around just to simply say to the department heads and to Jamie and to everyone else, the staff, the department heads, Jamie, Mark, you know, I can't even begin to thank you for all the hard work that you put into making this community work. There's so much that goes on basically what I would like to refer to as a 24/7 job. You know, Jamie, your job is 24/7. If I have to call you or text you or something, you know, something has to be done. You know, like I got a text message that the timing at the traffic stop over at Main Street has been off a little bit. People like to get these things resolved. You know, there's a lot to this job, and a lot of hard work behind the scenes that people really don't see, and I wanted to recognize that. But to everyone else, I want to thank you for all of your heartfelt work that you put into making this work. Thank you for doing that. So what I was waiting for, I was waiting for her to kick me. But
Give up the floor.
give up the floor. Ted, well said on what you said earlier. Colby, God bless you. Mel, God bless you. And Brian, God bless you as well. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Councilor Jones. Councilor Delarco.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, pretty much everything has been said. Yeah, I mean, really, to be honest with you, but, you know, I do want to thank the councilors. It's been awesome to work with all of you. It's been an honor to work with all of you. Yeah, I just leaned over to Tommy as Colby and Mel was saying everything we did, and I go, Jesus, I forgot half of the stuff. I mean, honest to God, you forget.
That's why we have the youth there, Bobby, so they can remember these things.
You forget half the stuff. Forget about COVID, that we were on the high school field holding budget hearings at the high school field, you know, yeah. And do it.
How can you forget that?
You know, and but really.
What a year that was.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
It was a great year, and, you know, hopefully I'll be back next term. And, you know, Brian, our friendship goes back long, long time ago. So I will miss you because you are a longtime friend, and I loved coaching your son, and we had a lot of fun all during those Pop Warner years. We had, it's probably my favorite years, hanging around there. Mel, I love you, kid. You know, I mean, we might not have agreed on a lot of things, but we still walked out and hugged each other, or had a drink or whatever, and we had a good time. Colby, your passion I got one way to say it. I remember when you first came here, and obviously, if you don't know, Colby graduated with my youngest daughter, Emily, and my son was a year older. And I remember going home, and I said, "Dad," because I did not know you at the time, and I said, "Do you know this Colby Frangello?" I said, "Do you know him?" And they said, "Yeah, why? We went to school with him, why?" And I go, "He's running for council." And their response, both of them, said, "Oh, I can see that." So you got it in you. You got it in you. It's just, so, it's just, maybe you have to go do something else right now and feel your oats a little bit, and I get that too. And, but honest to God, and whoever comes on, we just have to work together too again. It's all about a team. Nobody can be one way, nobody can be the other way. And what this council always did was always come in the middle. We always came in the middle, we met in the middle, we had to do everything. Jamie, you do a hell of a job. All the staff, Nancy, always there for us. I can't say anything. You're just great, everybody's great. And then we'll just continue and try to work through it. And Bob Valley's also famous saying, "We're here to do the greater good." Yeah. But, and to my chairman, my left hand, should I say my left hand? Always there. He does a great job. He's a good friend, and I appreciate everything we did. A lot of coffees, a lot of talking, and hope I helped you out as much as you helped me out, brother. That's all I can say.
Sure you did.
So, and good luck to everybody on Tuesday.
Yes.
What happens, happens,
Thank you, Councilor DeLarco. Just before I get to my final remarks, I just want to take a second to just go back to the town administrator's report and the purchase of the SNET trail, those things that your team were able to accomplish in the time frame that you did. And I know Mark was involved, but your entire administrative team did a fantastic job bringing those issues to closure in a very short period of time. That doesn't happen. It does not happen, especially when you're dealing with the railroad. For sure. So thank you and your teams for that. The Elks Riders, again, they continue to come forward. Our community continues to come forward and support the different, whether it be the senior center or whether it be the veterans or the fire department or the police department. Our residents, our local businesses, and our local corporations just do a wonderful job of continuing to support. The Habitat for Humanity, somebody mentioned earlier. Great project, great decision made by this council, and now we get to see the family that'll be moving in. So that's great stuff. And the food pantry, I know they're out there looking for any and all donations. Remember, folks, this is the holiday time of the year.
Toughest.
This is really the toughest times of the year for these families, and anything that anybody can do to help would be greatly appreciated. Now I'll get to my remarks. As we draw the final meeting of this term, to a close. I just want to take a few moments to reflect and to express my heartfelt gratitude. First, to the citizens of the community, thank you. The trust you place in us as a council carries great responsibility, and it's been my honor to serve as chair on your behalf. Your engagement, your questions, and your ideas have helped shape this town and make it stronger. Our progress is the result of a true partnership between council and community. Second, to my colleagues on the council, it's been a privilege to serve alongside each and every one of you. The work we do is not always easy. I apologize for this. There are long nights. There are difficult decisions, and there are diverse perspectives. Yet we face them together with dedication and respect. I want to recognize the commitment, the time, and the thoughtful discussion that each of you brings to this chamber. To our town administrator, his team, and all our department heads, thank you for everything you do to make the town of Franklin the vibrant, welcoming, and forward-thinking community that it is. Your professionalism and hard work are truly the foundation of our community's success. Third, and importantly, I'd like to recognize those members of the council who are not seeking re-election. Brian Chandler, Melanie Hamblin, Kobe Frangillo, your service has been invaluable. You've enriched our deliberations, represented our residents with integrity, and helped lay a strong foundation for future councils. You leave with our deep respect and gratitude, and I hope you continue to feel proud of what you've helped accomplish. Your legacy will endure. In the projects we've begun, the policies we've shaped, and the civic spirit that you've modeled. As I sit here tonight as a candidate for re-election, I do so with humility and renewed energy. Should I be honored to continue to serve, I pledge to keep working collaboratively to support this council, to partner with staff, to listen to our residents, and to seek solutions that move Franklin forward. Every voice matters, every idea counts, every resident deserves to be heard. In closing, let's carry forward the spirit of partnership and progress that has defined this term. Let us remain open, inclusive, transparent, and determined. As we begin the next chapter, may we do so with pride in what we've accomplished and confidence in what we can achieve together. Thank you. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Non-debatable. All those in favor signify by saying aye.